told her about the guy that night. Everything. And I warned her again. But Riley kept bothering her.
Did she go out with it?
A few times. But it was nothing serious.
I see.
Mary's just a kid. She didn't know much about men. And I was right about Riley. Look what happened. He came after me with a drill. He tried to kill me.
Tell me, Mr. Harrigan, could his going out with Mary have anything to do with the fight?
I told him to leave her alone.
Did you do anything to start the fight?
No!
You tried to protect yourself.
He might be 20 years younger than I am. But in a fair fight, I'd tear him to pieces.
It's a serious charge, attempted murder.
Riley should have thought of that when he came after me.
If he's convicted, he can go to prison for 10 years.
That's where he belongs, in jail.
Mr. Harrigan, are you sure that you're telling me the truth about that fight?
I tell you, he tried to kill me. You're making a mistake defending him. He's dangerous. Everybody would be better off without him.
That's the way you feel?
You bet that's the way I feel.
You're like a daughter to me, Mary. I hate to see you like this.
I can't help it. I'm so confused.
Everything will work out all right.
I don't know what to believe anymore. I know it's my fault, but why did Joe have to do it? Why did it have to happen?
I'd like to see Miss Harrigan.
You'll have to make it some other time. Mary isn't feeling very good.
It's rather important.
Please, Mr. Logan, ask him to come in. I thought I answered all of your questions.
I thought you did too, but now I'm not so sure.
I know it's your job to defend Joe, Mr. Matthews. But how could there possibly have been any justification for what he did? He tried to kill my father.
That's not Joe's story.
I don't care what he told you. He couldn't have been telling the truth.
Joe says that you were a witness to the whole fight.
I didn't know there was a fight till after.
What more proof do you need?
Lots more, Miss Harrigan. It's your father's word against Joe's. Despite the testimony, I find it hard to believe that Joe is guilty.
Well, you can believe what you want to. You're his attorney.
I have reason to believe the way I do, Miss Harrigan. Now, I've made a thorough check on Joe. I know all the jobs he's had in the last 10 years. I've talked to most of the people he worked for. They like him. There isn't one of them who wouldn't give him a job right now. Oh, sure, he was a Rolling Stone. He liked his fun. He had disagreements, but he was never mean or ugly. This is the first time in his life he was ever arrested. Now, Miss Harrigan, does this sound like the background of a man who would try to kill your father?
My father said he did.
Why? Why would he try to kill your father?
I can't talk about it anymore.
You know, Joe, you've been out with him. Do you feel that he's guilty?
I don't know what I feel.
Easy, honey.
I haven't slept a wink since it happened. It was so sudden. Dad in the hospital and Joe in jail. I've been afraid to let myself think.
You haven't told me everything, Miss Harrigan. Maybe you should.
I've got to, Mr. Matthews. I can't keep this inside of me any longer.
When did you first go out with Joe?
It was just a few days after I met him at the tunnel. I didn't let Dad know about it. We went to a show, and then after that, we saw each other every weekend. No, Joe.
You're thinking of your father again.
I have to. I'm all he has in the world.
But you gotta break away someday. You haven't even told him about us.
I can't, Joe. You know how he is.
I want us to get married, to settle down, have a home.
I want those things, too. But I want him to like you, Joe. I want him to be glad that I'm marrying you.
That's a big order.
Not too big if you'll try.
I'll try anything.
But then stop teasing him and rubbing him the wrong way. And stop finding nicknames for him.
But, honey, I'm only ribbing him.
I know, but he takes it seriously. Don't you see, Joe, he's competing with you, with the whole crew. He's always had to be the strongest and the best. And he just won't face the fact that he's getting older.
Honey, what do you want me to do?
You've got to get along with him, even if it means swallowing your own pride.
All right, if that's the way you want it. I'll have that big bone crusher eating out of the palm of my hand.
And remember, Joe, no more nicknames.
Joe Riley went back to work the next day, determined to win Jim Harrigan over.
Ease off, Pete. I'll take it a while.
We're on schedule, boss. Why push when you don't have to?
I'll quit pushing when I see light on the other side of the river.
We'll see light soon enough.
Take it slow for a change. Get back to your drilling, Riley. You're not being paid for advice.
I'll give you a hand.
I don't need a hand.
All you need's a little help.
I don't want any help. Get back to your drill. Come on, let's try again. Now, get this straight, Riley. When I tell you to do something, do it. Now get back to that drill.
Easy, Joe. He barks a lot, but it don't hurt.
That guy's impossible. There's no getting along with him.
I know better. Where do you think I'd be if it weren't for him? He's kept me working all these years. I've got a home and practically a daughter when nobody else would have me.
You, maybe. But no one else likes him. They break their backs. What thanks do they get?
Well, maybe he don't show it, but he's loyal to those that stick.
Logan, Riley, stop gabbing and get to work.
Sure. He's great.
Great.